Something very, very special happens when I get together with my mentoring clients. I get really excited. I get a little bit, what's the word? That buzzy, bubbly, joy-filled feeling, because most of my mentoring clients live a long way away from me. Most of them live, in fact, the majority of them live in various parts of Australia, and I don't get to see them in person as often as I would like to. So this weekend I am feeling very spoiled, even though it's spoiled of my own making, if you like, to be spending the weekend with some of my inner circle crew, my Like a Boss team. Now, not the whole gang, because they couldn't all make it for this weekend, so we're going to catch up with them another time. But this weekend, 2 of my Like a Boss members are going to be spending the weekend, well, at least the days of the weekend, starting with a little quick catch up this evening here at the Marriott on the Gold Coast. Now, this is my home away from home. I don't normally stay in a room like this, I'll have you know, and I'll show you around in a second. But I've chosen this room because we're going to be working from here all weekend, really hard. You're going to be seeing photos, so you're going to get a little bit of retreat spam, and I'm not even going to apologize for that. But what I want you to know is what happens, what's it like being mentored by me? Now, I can only see it from my perspective, but what I see when I mentor my clients is I see sometimes gradual, sometimes subtle, sometimes rapid, sometimes really big and amazing growth. Now, I'm really clear that when I talk about growth, I'm talking about not just how big your business is, but I'm talking about how you grow as an individual, how you grow as an entrepreneur, a business owner. And for me, that's the important stuff, because everything else follows. If you're small and lacking confidence and afraid of criticism and judgment and stuck in inaction, how can your business grow? How can it be successful and sustainable? So you need to grow as a business owner. You need to grow into your role as a business owner. And sometimes that takes a little bit of nudging and pushing and, dare I say, a little bit kicking up the backside too. So when I work with my mentoring clients, I work with them looking at the barriers to them making change in their working life, in their personal life, but mostly in their business life. So what are the things that keep my mentoring clients stuck or keep them from doing the things they're really called to do? So most of my clients have great ideas, really lofty but achievable goals, but they sometimes feel like there's an invisible wall that prevents them from achieving those things. Now, those invisible walls are sometimes things like fear of criticism from others, fear of judgment, fear of getting into trouble, and it's this awful feeling. It makes you feel really small, a fear of getting into trouble from your professional peers. Now, that's a really scary feeling. Fear of success, just as much as fear of failure, can be one of the barriers that my mentoring clients face. So how is it that we're able to move forward through those barriers? Well, sometimes it's about helping people feel safe to take action, helping people feel brave to do things that seem difficult, helping people choose action over fear. Now, sometimes it's about deciding. It's just as simple as that. Making a decision to do the thing, despite how you feel. So when I'm working with my clients, it might be a one-to-one session, which I don't have many of, because I'm so busy. But when I do have time to offer a one-to-one session, it's really nitty-gritty, looking at what's going on for you, looking at the barriers to you taking action in your business, looking at where your business is at now and where you want it to be, and how we're going to fill that gap between where you are and where you're heading. If I'm working in a group program, my groups are all pretty small. So my 30-day Fire Starters program's open at the moment. So there's 3 spots still left in there if you want to jump in. Send me a message. Don't be shy. I don't bite, I promise. those groups are usually about 6 people. So you get to know some peers, and that's really the bonus of working in a group program, is you get to have your experience normalized and validated by peers who are going through very similar things. So it's not just my say-so, it's also the power of having others who are in the same boat. So you don't feel isolated anymore. For me, the journey of being a business owner has been one of leaving that feeling of isolation and leaving the feeling of fear, of judgment, criticism, leaving those things behind and stepping into a really supported space. Myself, as a business owner, that's been hugely important. So I know the value of that. I know how powerful that is, not feeling isolated, not feeling that when something difficult happens, it's because you suck at what you're doing as a business owner. It's usually a normal part of the process. It's usually something that everyone experiences at some point. And there's a lot of power in realizing that it's not you, it's the nature of being in business. So I run 30-day programs that are pretty intensive. In fact, the 30-day program, we have daily contact. So really make sure that you get cracking on your goals. I run a 90-day program, which the current one is underway. There's another one will start in January. So keep your eyes open, because I'll start taking expressions of interest for that. In fact, if you're already interested in my January no quarter program, let me know. And I'll send you all the deets. But you know, this weekend is all about my inner circle, my Like a Boss crew. And these are people who have made a massive commitment, a 12-month commitment to work damn hard on themselves and their businesses to grow in all the ways I've described. So growing as a business owner, growing into the goals that they're setting for themselves, growing into action instead of inaction, growing into courage and confidence instead of fear. And of course, the byproduct of that is their businesses will grow too. How exciting is that? So this is the first weekend retreat of this current round of no quarter. And like I said, there's only a couple of the crew who are coming, so it's going to be a really intimate weekend. And the next retreat for no quarter, for Like a Boss, I should say. So the next retreat for Like a Boss will be in March, and I think that's going to be in Melbourne. And then we have another one in August in Brisbane, and then we'll be back to the Gold Coast for November again next year. It's such an exciting thing. So the Like a Boss crew, they are making this big commitment to themselves, also taking time away from their families to come and spend a weekend with me to work on their business so that they can really push forward over the next few months with their goals. So I can see one of my Like a Boss crew members sneaking a peek of where I am. So first things first, let's just get this out of the way, shall we? Check out the view. So that down there is the swimming pool at the Marriott. You've seen me there before. It's a swimming pool that actually has live tropical fish in it. If I get my head out of the way, you'll be able to see it. So you can snorkel and scuba and do all sorts of fun things down there. And you can hire one of those cabanas and be waited on like a princess. My personal favourite thing to do. And of course, this is the Gold Coast. So that is heading towards Southport, which Brisbane is that direction. But let me show you around. So this is where we're going to be working. This is our workroom for Saturday and Sunday. You can see we've got a big table to work from. We've got a kitchen so we can make ourselves, I don't know, cups of tea or bags of popcorn or whatever we fancy. And then we've also got this other space over here, which is going to be a little breakout space with comfy chairs, a TV that says, "Welcome, Tess Crawley." Thank you, Marriott. I feel welcome. So lots of room so we can spread out and really work super duper hard and really concentrating on the goals that we want to achieve. One of my favorite parts of my retreats is the first morning, because it's on the first, I'm just sitting on my bed, I hope you don't mind. So every room's got that view, right? So the first morning of a retreat is always, for me, the most exciting part, because it's when it's when we really drill into what we want to get done while we're here. And then, of course, the rest of the retreat is also my favorite part. So I love every minute of it. But that first morning, we come together and everyone's a little bit uncertain about what it's going to be like, what we're going to do. We drill into what we're going to achieve, and then we work really hard to achieve that while we're here. And then at the end of retreat, we make sure that we've ticked off as many things off the list of things we wanted to achieve as we can. And we set like departure goals. And so the departure goals are, what are we going to do next? What's the next bunch of things we want to achieve over the coming months? And what's the first couple of steps towards achieving those, so that when the guys leave on Sunday, they'll go away knowing where they're heading with their next set of goals to be achieved in their businesses. And then we do the whole thing again when we come back together again in March. So being mentored by me is, I guess, it's I feel ridiculously spoiled to be able to mentor the people I mentor, because they're all such incredible people with such incredible passion for what they do. And they all come from different sectors of the professions that they're in, different focus in their business, different goals, different dreams, different backgrounds. And I feel incredibly privileged to be their mentor. So for me, being allowed to mentor these guys is like, it's like Christmas. It's like having a birthday party. It's like having all your best friends over for a sleepover. It's all of that fun stuff that you forget what that feels like as a grown-up. You know, like you get used to those kinds of excitement things as a kid. You look forward to them, you hope for the next one. And then as a grown-up, it doesn't quite happen very often. So I feel really spoilt that I get to have these moments and these feelings on a really regular basis with my awesome mentoring clients, whether we're in person or online doing the stuff that we do together each week. So, oh, look, Amanda's saying very sweet things. Thank you, Amanda. So over the course of this weekend, I'll bring you more video footage, I'll bring you photographs, little behind the scenes snippets, bits and pieces. Meanwhile, if you're curious about doing some mentoring with me, please do send me a message. I'm more than happy to hear from you. I do respond to all messages myself, so shoot me a message and I'd be really glad to get back to you and give you a bit more information. So there are a couple more spots, I think 3 spots left in the Fire Starters program, the 30-day program, which will see you through till Christmas. There's the No Quarter program starting in January. I haven't decided on the start date exactly because I've got a very big grown-up girl's birthday in January, just saying. And so I need to take that into account. But there will be a No Quarter starting in January. So if a 90-day program sounds like it's more your jam, then you better let me know too. Meanwhile, have a fabulous weekend ahead. I know I'm going to. I'll keep you posted and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.